Hello guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Welcome back to Gbpjpy, your channel for your weekly pre-market analysis. Apologies for not uploading last week. And if you want to watch the monthly analysis, the video with the monthly analysis, just click on the link above where you'll be directed to the video with that analysis. Otherwise, let's get straight into our first video. Looking at the GJ on the weekly chart, we can notice that the price is consolidating, forming Wyckoff distribution schematics. So what we are waiting for now is that we're waiting for the price either to break to the upside, right? Once it breaks to the upside, this would become a reaccumulation, and then we're also waiting for the price to break to the downside. Once we see that slight break here and then the price quickly rejected to the upside, we'll then be able to draw another line, a support zone just as above. You can see that we have two lines that make a zone, so we'll be expecting now to make it two lines that will making a zone. Yeah, so once it makes this will be a sign that probably the price is going to break this in the immediate future. So basically this is what's happening. We are waiting for the price either to break to the upside or to the downside. Let's first assume that this is an accumulation schematics. So once that happens, once it forms this break or this sign of weakness in the phase B, we expect the price to be rejected right to the upside, and then when it reaches here, then it will get rejected on this one, right, and then it will continue its consolidation until it makes another break. So once it makes another break, that will be our sign of weakness in phase D, and then we'll be just waiting for the price to retest this ice right before eventually drowning into the ice. So eventually the price would then expect the price to make a sharp move to the downside. So mainly what's happening here is that we are playing a waiting game so that we can wait for that big push to the downside. So once we see this sign of weakness, we can now time for our entries, but this will be entries for a long time. So we may time our entries below or around this resistance area, and then we make a short. But for certainty or for higher probability, you can wait for the price to make that sign of weakness again and then short at this pull back. This way we have a higher probability than trying to short anywhere from here. Then this is the move that we are expecting. In terms of the bullish moves, what we'll be just waiting for now is the price to break above this resistance area. For our price to break above this, it's either the price is making a reversal here, targeting this previous high that once happened here, right? This may be the sign that the price is now reversing to the upside. So for the bullish moves, what we are waiting for is for the price to break first. This is the first scenario. Come, push and break above this resistance zone. So once it pulls back, right, and retests this as a support zone and it holds, then we'll be expecting the price to push to the upside. So this is the first scenario. Then the second scenario is where the price, so this line marks our order block here, our weekly order block here. So the price may pull back, right, test this order block and then be pushed to the upside, right? When it comes and breaks here, retest, and it holds, then we can open long positions. So basically you can see that we are playing a waiting game. We are waiting for the price to break to the upside, and then we take long positions on the pullback on the resistance area. So these are the scenarios that we're expecting in the coming weeks. Now we move on to the daily chart. So in the previous video, we had identified certain order blocks, right, as our areas of interest. We had identified these two order blocks, right, and also this one. So that being said, we can notice that the price reacted on this order block. We are expecting that the price is going to push to the upside, reacting to this order block. But for it to be a stronger move, what we can expect or what we'll be waiting for is for the price to make that second test on this order block. Once it holds, we'll be comfortable that this is a stronger zone and it would form another structure, which is a double bottom. Then we would expect the price to push to the upside. Preferably we'll be expecting it to break this. If it breaks this, then retest it, and it holds as a support zone, this is where we can expect a higher probability long position, where we can hold it maybe for 5% or upwards, right? But you can hold it from here, but then it won't be prudent. It won't be prudent because we still have this resistance area to break through, right? So this is the case of a bullish move. Then on the short side of things, we'll be expecting that this bullish move can continue, right? And then we'll be targeting this order block that is within the resistance area be rejected. Once it gets rejected, we'll be expecting it to break below this low, also mitigating that order block, right? And then we'll be expecting the price to push back again, testing this previous low as a resistance area. And once it does that, we can expect probably the price or this move to end here. This is the first scenario. However, the continuation of this might play out like this. It may come and mitigate this order block, in the process make a downward push, breaking the support area, forming that sign of weakness, maybe in phase D, right? Once it does that, we'll be expecting the price to pull back, retesting that as a resistance zone. So once it holds as a resistance zone, then we might be comfortable to make a short position that will have a higher probability than taking that short from this region or from this region, expecting a huge push to the downside. So these are the movements that I'm expecting on the daily chart, and also these are the movements overall that I'm expecting on the Gbpjpy. So now I'll move on to the dollar rand pair. In summary, on the weekly chart, we can notice that we had that schematic. This is overall an accumulation schematics, right? So now we can see that the price broke above the resistance area and is now in the process of retesting that resistance area, and it formed a bullish engulf on the resistance area. So this means that for now we can say that this resistance area that was broken is now held as a support zone. So what it means to us now is that since we notice this bullish engulf, we're expecting the price to make a huge push to the upside, right? But of particular interest, you can notice that this is not just a bullish engulf, right? But this is a bullish engulf that is formed on an order block. So this means that the likelihood of an upward push is higher, right? And also, not only that, we also have a descending channel. So what this means is that we're expecting in the coming weeks, we're expecting the price to break above this, to break out of this descending channel, right? Once it does that, it's going to pull back, right? And we're expecting the price to form a higher low. In the process, it will be retesting the broken channel as a support area, and also it will be testing the broken resistance area as a support area, making a double bottom, right? So once this holds, then we'll be expecting the price to push to the upside, maybe up to this level. So this is the bullish move that we are expecting. Now on the bearish side, we can notice that we have this order block, right? So we can expect that the price is going to be rejected from this area. Once it gets rejected from this area, the price can then come and close below this low, in the process mitigating that order block, right? So instead of maybe forming a double top or forming a higher low, the price ends up mitigating that order block, right? Once it mitigates this order block, we'll be expecting to push back and retest the previous low as a resistance area. Once it holds as a resistance zone, then we'll be expecting the price to push to the downside. But as it is going to make that push to the downside, we'll be paying attention to these order blocks, right? So these are the movements that we're expecting on the weekly chart, right? We're expecting either push to the downside, but with more probability, we're expecting the price to push to the upside. So now we move on to the daily chart. So we can notice that the price broke above this resistance area, then pulled back, right? And it was pulling back in a fashion of a descending channel. So what are we expecting now? We're expecting the price either to break the channel or continue moving within this descending channel. So in terms of the bearish move, I'm paying attention to this order block and this order block, right? So as you can notice, the price has already started a resistance, is already made a resistance here, right? So the price has been rejected, right? So we'll be expecting that the price may move to the downside, right? Come test this order block, pull back, right? Then form a double top on this order block. Once it holds, then we'll be expecting the price to push again to the downside, right? Come and test this zone, retest this previous low as a resistance area, and then the price continue the movement to the downside, right? So this is the bearish scenario that I'm expecting, right? Then I'm expecting bullish scenario, right? So what happened here, we have another order block here, right? So the price didn't just move, there was a catalyst to the movement. So we can notice that this initial move push to the upside was because there was an order block here. It happened on an order block here, right? And we are saying that it also happened on the area where the price was retesting the previous resistance area as a support zone. What are we expecting now, right? The price has already acted on this order block, so we're now expecting that the price may come and retest this order block. But how does that happen? It can take place in two forms, right? The first one is that the price is going to reverse from this order block, then go and retest and test this order block, right? And from this order block, it would have formed a higher low, and then we'll be expecting the price to break above or mitigate this order block, pull back to retest it as a support zone before making that huge push to the upside, right? So this is the first way that it can happen. Then the second way is that the price may initially break above this resistance area and then act on the second order block, right, where it's going to be rejected and pulled back. Then it will come retest this order block. It will come and test this order block. Once the strength of this order block is confirmed, then we'll be expecting the price to make that huge push to the upside, mitigate this order block, retest it, and then make that push to the upside. So I'm expecting the bullish moves to have a higher probability than the bearish moves. So that being said, thanks a lot guys for joining me. It was a pleasure having you here. I'll catch you in the next analysis. Remember, the next analysis that we're going to be doing, we have a monthly, weekly and daily charts. So that leaves me to say, manage your risk well, grind the markets with great. Roy Machingura out.